Hey, how you doing? You know what this is, B.F.A.M cooking. That's right, we're about to do another cooking recipe for you. This time we're going to the sweet side. You know what that is? Desserts. So I'm going to do a cake for a birthday, memorial birthday for my father-in-law. We're doing something simple, a pound cake. You guys have seen this out there many times, but you haven't tried mine. So what we're going to do is make a nice, simple, buttery, light and airy pound cake. Normally pound cakes are really heavy, but this one is going to be just the right mixture of thick and fluffy. Yes, that sounds weird, a contradiction, but that's what we're going to do. Can't wait for you to try it. If you don't mind, please give me a comment at the bottom. Give me a thumbs up, ring that bell, like, subscribe, share. These are all things that you can do to make this channel better. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to hear your input. Whether it's good or bad, I'd love to hear from you. Baking, baking, baking. You know when you're baking, this is more science than the regular cooking that you would do, or at least the regular cooking I would do, where I sort of, play it by ear, play it by taste. You can't really do that with baking. You gotta stick along the lines of the recipe. So I'm gonna be placing the recipe down at the bottom. You can also check out the Savory Scrapbook site, which also has another baking recipe for pound cake. I did one over there for, what was it? It was lemon ricotta? No, it wasn't lemon ricotta. Yeah, it was lemon pound cake. That's what it was. Anyway, I think you're gonna really like this. It's a very simple recipe. All you have to do is remember, a pound cake is basically a pound of flour, a pound of eggs, a pound of sugar, a pound of butter. That's basically it. Mix them all together with the other slight ingredients that you need. You'll need some baking powder. You'll need some vanilla extract. This is my homemade vanilla extract. That's right, I have more than enough vanilla extract to last me a lifetime. And we are going to just combine those items, put it in the pan, cook it on 350. Now it's not about 350 definitely until the stick comes out clean. Once it comes out, turn it out and you're good to go. That's basically it. Really not that difficult. So in this container here, we're gonna get started with using the butter, a pound of butter. I have a pound of butter in here and a cup of ricotta cheese. We're just gonna get that nice and set up in our little tray, and we're gonna mix these things together. In this container also, I have my sifted flour. Over here I have my 9 eggs, whole eggs, medium. And then I have sugar, which I'm using granulated sugar, a cup of, and a cup of, 2 cups of, it's 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1 cup of powdered sugar, and then of course I put my baking soda in here too, which is basically for every cup of flour, there's 3 cups, 3 1/4 cups of flour in here. For every cup of flour, you need to put in 3 teaspoons of baking powder, right? That makes it a little bit lighter and airier. It's a leavening sort of process. 9 whole eggs, and then of course, to me, you're supposed to put in there an exact amount of vanilla extract, which I told you you're supposed to do exactly. But with vanilla extract, the nice thing is you can do it to taste. So I'm gonna double it. I really love vanilla, so I'm gonna put 4 tablespoons of vanilla extract. All right. So butter, flour, eggs, sugar. Let's get the sugar and the butter working together along with the ricotta. In our trusty KitchenAid, we have our paddle, and we've got it locked down so it doesn't buck on you. The bowl's locked in place. We have our pound of butter listed in, which is basically 4 sticks of butter. Whoa, and of course, didn't lock it down. Room temp butter. Let's get some sugar in there to help break it down. The reason why I've decided to use a little bit of, in combination, the granulated butter. The reason I decided to use the granulated butter and the powdered, granulated butter. The reason I decided to use the granulated sugar and the powdered sugar was that we want to make sure this stuff gets fully incorporated. We want to make sure that it's nice and light. So my idea was to see what a little bit of granulated sugar would do with a little bit of powder, because that's already really, really fine. We're just going to beat this butter as long as we need to when it becomes, we don't hear the sugar in the container. Should take about 10 minutes or so. Stop it, scrape down the sides, scrape down the butter, make sure the paddles are getting to all of the goodness. Push it all in the middle. You still hear that sugar grittiness. The heat from the paddle turning will melt the butter a little bit more and incorporate the sugar a lot. Let's see what we got here. Feels like it's pretty well incorporated. Next up is the eggs. We got 9 whole eggs in here, medium size. We're going to try and incorporate them one by one into the mix. So set the blender on, the mixer on low, and get these eggs in there. Bloop. Look at that beautifulness. Next is our vanilla. Again, this is our homemade vanilla extract, and I want to put 4 large tablespoons of vanilla in there. Vanilla extract in there. I want it to sing vanilla. Maybe a few extra. Get that mixed in. One more scraping. Get those sides clean, incorporated. Next up will be flour. Let's get it started a little bit with a little bit of flour in there before I put it back down. This was sifted flour, all-purpose flour. Lock, low, start it on low, try and get it in there. Wait till you can't see any more flour before you add more. Add more. Low. Add the last bit of flour. Scrape the edges of the bowl. Lock it down. Here we have a bundt pan. In this bundt pan, we're going to add in our batter, but this bundt pan has already been, as you can see, I've applied shortening all around it, and then I've added flour and dusted it, shook off the excess so that we can get the cake out of the pan after this. It would be nice, right? So let's get this batter into the pan. This batter is obviously self-leveling. I have it on a sheet tray to make it easier to get it in and out of the oven. Again, my oven is preheated to 350. It's gonna be in there about 1 hour and 10, 1 hour and 25. You'll determine whether it's done by using a large skewer, like for a shish kebab or something like that. Rather have all the batter in the cake than in the sink. So some people may tell you to eat this batter, but it has raw eggs in it, so I wouldn't suggest you do that, but hey, to each his own. Okay, batter's ready to go in the oven. Go in the oven. So it's resting. So we took it out of the pan. We added another 10 minutes to cook because it wasn't quite done. It showed up on our little stick. So now we're going to do another test. Came out really clean. That means it's done. So we just need to let it rest, cool down a little bit, cut off the oven, and then we'll be ready to have some cake. Well, obviously we're not going to have today. We're going to have the party. But hey, cake looks good from the top anyway. Inside sounds good, and it smells absolutely delicious. Vanilla pound cake. Can't wait for you to have some. I can't wait for you to have some myself right now. 5 inches worth of pound cake. 5. I don't know. Hey, anyway, as you can see, it's out. It looks great with the exception of some minor divots from when it didn't release from the pan. Easiest way to fix that would have been to put a little bit of like wax paper down and parchment paper, and then flour the parchment paper. but I'll cover that up when we slice it and make sure it's good. It looks and smells extremely buttery. I cannot wait for you guys to try this recipe. I don't want to cut it today, so you're gonna have to live without that. This is the way it's going out to you. My family will have slices, and I'm gonna top it with a peanut butter and chocolate sauce. Okay, so this is a basic vanilla pound cake. I hope you guys enjoy it. B.F.A.M. Cooking. Like, subscribe, share.